Hi, Sarah Staar speaking here. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about is getting your message online, whether that's through video, audio, or just typing something into Google and making sure your message comes up. Very, very important. Now, we're very, very privileged to have a good friend of mine on the call today, Neil Long. And Neil is one of those experts and well, I would say with voice delivery, he's got what I call a radio voice, and he's got a radio voice because he is actually a radio presenter. So we're really, really lucky to have him on the call. Thanks so much for joining us, Neil.
I was so tempted to speak in a really squeaky voice there, but I couldn't do that to you. Thank you, Sarah. It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Great. And what the reason I've got Neil on today is because, like I said, Neil is fantastic. At teaching people how to deliver correct presentations, whether that's online, on video, on Skype, on the phone, or even on webinars. And Neil has worked on various radio stations in the UK, such as Capital Radio, Radio Jackie. He's rubbed shoulders with some quite famous people, including people like George Michael and Gabrielle. So that must have been really cool to be able to, work in radio stations and rub shoulders with some quite famous people.
Well, yes, it was good fun. Yes, George Michael walked past me in the office, and I smiled, and he smiled back, which was nice. And a huge privilege at the time. And Gabrielle, just to do some shameless name dropping, they did a big charity event, and I actually shared a table with Gabrielle, so I had lunch with her, which was very nice.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes,
now, a lot of you will know that, when I first started, I had massive success with video marketing, creating kind of like affiliate review videos and getting those videos ranked in Google. I've also recently had a lot of success with webinars and so forth. And now, Neil is one of my mentoring students, and he was actually telling me about a workshop which he's putting on with 3 of his colleagues. And that workshop, when he started describing what he was going to be teaching in that workshop, it completely blew me away. So the kind of things which he's going to be teaching in this workshop are voice training, which I'm always very, very interested in, how to deliver your message correctly. Also, how to get found on the internet. So when you type something into Google, making sure that your message comes up. So we're not talking about SEO here. We're talking about kind of like a little bit of a shortcut, if you like, on how to get your message ranked in Google, which is I'm always interested in. Also, about how to sell on the telephone. So if you've got a telephone sales team where you want to close high-ticket sales on the phone, this is definitely the workshop for you. Also, if you just want to make affiliate review videos or training videos or any kind of video to put on YouTube, you need to come to this workshop. So Neil, tell me a little bit about what's going to be covered in this workshop. So if we just start first of all with what you're going to be teaching during this workshop.
Absolutely. It's a twofold thing. I'm doing 2 presentations over the weekend, Sarah.
Yeah.
Now, the first one is about using your voice in a confident manner. People have got these skills, and most people say, "Oh, I can't stand the sound of my own voice." I mean, think back, Sarah, when you first did your first telephone answer message, and you play it back, and you think, "Oh, I don't sound like that, do I?" You'd be surprised how many people actually feel that way about their own voice. To the contrary, we teach them that it's actually their best asset and how they can use it in a much more effective way and be a lot more authoritative. If you think how newsreaders do it on the radio or even on the TV, they've got an authority in their voice and a confidence. And that is so important when delivering a message, to have authority in your voice, to sound like you mean it, to sound like you stand behind what you say. And that is so, so important. And we teach those skills, very, very simple tricks, which anyone can develop. I mean, there was once a guy who I interviewed, a Scottish guy, and we got him from radio disaster, and he was a disaster, to radio friendly within an hour. Seriously, within an hour of training, we got his voice up to something that would be good enough to broadcast on most radio stations around the UK, which was a bit of a coup. So even if you think you've got the worst voice in the world, we can solve that. And not only using your voice, but how to use it and the right words to use and the delivery and all that sort of thing. So that's the first thing. And then we teach you how to write scripts that convert. We take some insights from the world of radio, teach you how to write, the short and snappy adverts that you hear on the radio. We teach you to actually write scripts that convert in that style. So it's that old AIDA, isn't it? Attention, interest, desire, action. We teach you how to grab the attention, generate the interest, create the desire, and then get the person to take action, all within 30 seconds, which is not a bad deal.
Wow.
And then we move on to podcasting, which is an online radio show. You probably heard the term. It's a coined term. It's from the term iPod, and then casting from broadcasting. But it's a bit deceptive because you don't have to just do it on an iPod. You can listen to podcasts on any media device, any media device on your computer, any media player. So not just iPods, but including those, of course. Now, the statistics, the amount of people that are online and the amount of people that are podcasting and the amount of people that have access, so we call it arm's length access, literally on your mobile phone, you can get access to things all around the world, and it's a huge expanding market. And why aren't people tapping into that? If you're not podcasting, for goodness sake, why aren't you? We've solved the first problem with delivery and all that sort of thing and confidence. The second part, that's my second presentation, is teaching people how to podcast, how to have their own radio show, where to source the material, how to present it, how to get found online, how to promote it, how to get it on multiple platforms, not just the iPods, how to get it maybe on YouTube as well, adding pictures and all that sort of thing. They call that vodcasting. So it's really just teaching all these new skills. People walk out with a sense of possibility. It's like, oh my God, I never thought of that before. And when they see the statistics, which I put up on the screen, of how many people are actually, what their potential audience is. I mean, people will be listening to podcasts in cars before long. This is some of the technology that's coming in. You know, imagine going into your car and putting on your favorite podcast rather than a radio station. They could be listening to you with your own radio show. So it could be the Sarah Staar morning show people are listening to in their cars, or whoever's watching this. It could be you. And these are the kind of possibilities that people haven't even thought about yet. And when we sort of dig down into it and show what's really behind it and show what the opportunities and possibilities are, it's exciting. And we do some practical things in the class as well. We actually get you doing it live, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of laughter in the room. Don't let that put you off. It's nothing scary or embarrassing, but it's a lot of fun what we do. So that's my bit of it.
Okay, so that sounds fantastic. So I mean, you're talking about there, sort of, it's almost like speaker training, if you like. And I think one of the things that people, I mean, when I talk to people about doing, creating video for the internet, the biggest problem people have is fear. And I remember the first time, well, there's actually two things. The first time I ever made a video online, which was my course, The YouTube Loophole, I think it was. I was so scared when I released that people were going to hate it. That was the first thing. The second thing, big obstacle I had, was actually speaking on stage. Well, I say stage, it was like in front of 10 people, I think, at a seminar at Heathrow. I think there was about 9 or 10 people in the room. It was a Steve Foley event. It might have even been less people than that, actually. And I said, I'm going to speak at this event. And I was dead scared of speaking. It was one of my big fears. I was actually awake all night. I couldn't sleep the whole night because I was so scared that I was going to have to present at this workshop. And that's how scared I was when I first started.
Yeah, it's so common.
So how do you address that? And is that something that's quite easy to overcome?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's very easy to overcome. I often describe it to like the first 10 seconds. The first 10 seconds are terrifying. I used to do a bit of stand-up comedy. All right. The first 10 seconds are terrifying, but then when it starts to flow, that terror can turn into an absolute euphoria. Plus, there's mental tricks we can do. Derek, who's one of the other speakers, and we've studied quite a bit of personal development work, and there's kind of Jedi mind tricks you can do to boost your confidence. Absolutely. Get past that first 10 seconds. It's like a roller coaster ride when you're going up and up and up and up on the roller coaster, and it's climbing, and you think, oh my God, what am I doing? Then it tips over the first dip, and it's terrifying, but then it starts to be exciting, and by the time the roller coaster's finished, you think, I want to do that again. So we can turn that fear into excitement. Absolutely. So we can certainly address.
Okay, so that's interesting. Now, so making videos is one thing, and I know that all of you out there can do this. It's not a difficult thing to do, and to be honest, the thing I think a lot of people worry about is, if I make a video, it's not going to look professional. Well, if you're making an affiliate review video, you don't want it to look too professional. You want it to look like you've made it in your house or something. You don't want it to be in a fancy studio. So, in a sense, low production values can be a plus, particularly if you're doing affiliate review style videos. So you don't need to worry too much about getting out there and doing it, but you still need some pointers on how to actually deliver your message and to create a video that's actually going to pull in sales. So this is very, very important. The second point to this, it's all very well making videos, but there's no point in making audios, making videos if no one can find the things. So, one of the big successes I had when I first started was being able to get my YouTube videos ranked in Google. And right now, and this has always been a problem with internet marketing, and I think it's particularly a big problem now, is something called search engine optimization. So that's where we're trying to almost fool Google or reverse engineer Google into ranking our website in the top 10, if you like. And this is a kind of a subject that a lot of people go down when they first started internet marketing. A lot of people think that they can get their website ranked in Google, when actually I would say 99% of the top marketers don't even worry about that, don't even think about that. It's not important. However, it is important, and it is fairly easy to get websites like Google Plus, YouTube, forums, authority sites, Facebook. These types of pages are very, very easy to get ranked in Google. So what we want to have is a position where we make a video, like let's say we're making a review video for an affiliate product. Someone types that affiliate product name into Google, and bang, the first 4 or 5 results are authority websites, things like YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Instagram. These sites are all coming up, but with your message, your page. It's kind of like a backdoor into SEO, which is a very, very, very effective way of doing things, guys. Now, Derek Kemp is going to be at this. I heard that Derek was speaking at this workshop, which is one of the reasons I actually want to come along to this workshop. So Neil, tell me a little bit about that, and what's Derek actually been up to in the last few years? Because I met Derek about 5 years ago, I think it was, very briefly, and he was running a lot of seminars and events. But since then, he's been doing this traffic strategy. So tell me what he's been up to.
Loads of things. Yes, he's run over 100 mastermind style events since 2011 at various locations around the UK. He's got a whole company for running these mastermind style events, and that's another good thing. You get the group synergy, all the sort of group intelligence in the room, and that's another really positive point about it all. But basically, he's got extensive branding experience, small to medium-sized businesses he's been working with since 2008. And it's a question, like you say, when you type in that search term, you want your website to come up, and it's all about how to do that and how to use media, number one, to brand yourself effectively so people know who you are, you're an authority brand, and two, so your name comes up. So getting your media on the multiple platforms that you mentioned, the YouTubes, the Instagrams, the Google Pluses, the Twitter, the Facebooks, and all that sort of thing. And how to do that effectively. So he teaches something called Brand Accelerator, and it's how to literally accelerate your brand up that curve so people know you, they trust you, you've got authority in the marketplace, and you get on these multiple platforms so that it's your site that comes up when people type in the search term after the right keyword research, of course. Absolutely. So that it's your site. So it's your site that comes up rather than anyone else's. So yeah, he's a good guy, and I've seen the presentation several times, and every time, like a book that you reread several times, and you get more out of it each time. And I get more and more and more as he goes deeper and deeper into the content. He was originally an engineer, so he's got that mind that can analyze systems that work really well, and he's now applied that mindset to the internet marketing world in all its depth and come up with a lot of very, very good stuff. So that's Derek.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, that sounds fascinating. And the final person is Alex Dallas. Now, I've only just heard about Alex, and one of the subjects which I'm really interested in is selling over the phone. So we do sell here at Staar Business School. We do sell high-end products over the phone to clients, and that is something which I'm interested in, which is one of the reasons I'm thinking about coming along to this workshop. And how to effectively close on the phone, how to present on the phone. So tell me a little bit about that, Neil, because that sounds fascinating. And it's a very, very useful skill to have, whether you're selling high-end products or not. Just having those kind of telephone skills, being able to deal with people effectively on the phone.
Well, Alex is a master at this. He's got 15 years business research and development experience, working with a wide range of companies, closing deals for a number of different clients around the world, and 20 years in telesales, generating millions of pounds directly or indirectly for small, medium, and large corporations. So, put bluntly, it's quite an intro. He knows his stuff. So he will teach you. We use the telephone all the time, but is there a technique to doing it? Of course there is. He's got the tips, he's got the tricks, he's got the tools, he's got the techniques. And he teaches you, first of all, the right questions to ask to draw out the appropriate answers, how you can best help the client, how you can build a rapport with the client, and yes, the closes, different styles of closes, how to close the client to the sale on the phone. There is, without question, an art to telesales. It's nothing like those annoying telemarketers that ring up, all the ones with the PPI insurance and all that sort of thing. We all get those calls. They're really annoying, and it is not this. He is an absolute master of his art. He's very, very good. And I certainly found it very, very useful listening to his techniques. And if you've got a telephone, which most people have, let's use it well and let's use the techniques properly, and let's make the most of this underused, I suppose, asset that all of us have got, but most of us don't use to its full potential.
Well, Neil, I'm sold. So let's hear about the dates. How can people book? I'm going to put a link below the video, but tell me about the dates. Where is the workshop being held?
It's a lovely place, actually. It's being held at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Heathrow. It's on the 18th and 19th of April. That's the next one. We run pretty much one a month, but this is the next one, which we're talking about now, 18th and 19th of April. Crown Plaza Hotel in Heathrow. You get free Wi-Fi all over the weekend, by the way. You get free car parking as well, and dinner with Derek and Alex on the Saturday night.
Fantastic.
So you can, and also a consultation with Derek as well. He's going to basically go through your business with you and give it his, put his engineering and branding and, and marketing. But he's going to put all his hats on basically and go through your business with a fine-tooth comb with you, and that is absolutely priceless gift. And we are giving gifts away to the value of £800 just for coming. So you're in profit already by loads, by hundreds and hundreds of pounds. So you get free gifts worth £800 just for coming and spending the weekend with us. 18th and 19th of April, Crown Plaza Hotel in Heathrow, and it's a nice hotel as well.
Yeah, if you just click on the link below this video, that will take you through to where you can actually register and sign up to come to the Media Masterclass. So love to see you there. Thank you so much, Neil, for being on the call today, and I guess I'll be seeing you at the workshop.
You're there. It's a date. Thanks for having me on.
Bye-bye.